All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So David Lee Roth has an unreleased song out there, according to John 5. John 5 is a great artist in his own right, has collaborated with so many really high-profile artists. Recently was Steve Perry on the Traces album, and he worked with David Lee Roth post A Different Kind of Truth. I'm thinking maybe a year or two after that album was recorded, he went into the studio with John 5 and recorded some music, about 5 or 6 tracks now that we learn about this extra song. John 5 says the song is about Van Halen, and it's absolutely beautiful and wonderful. Those are words that John 5 has used to describe it. It's actually called Nothing Could Have Stopped Us, and it's about Van Halen. John 5 says it's his favorite song that he's ever done with Dave. So that's high praise from a guy who I think has the magic touch in the studio. He's an unlikely character. If you look at John 5, you're thinking he's probably in some punk band or thrash metal band, but he definitely has this real creative side, musically speaking, that is not what you'd expect. You know, as they say, you can't read a book by its cover. Although you might also say that at least John 5 is trying to be a rock star. The lineup on these songs includes Greg Bissonette on drums, the amazing Brett Tuggle, who was hanging out with Fleetwood Mac for quite some time on keyboards, Louis Conti on percussion, and of course, you've got John 5 on guitar and bass, and the great David Lee Roth singing. As far as Dave's vocals, I've complained a lot about Dave, especially when it comes to live vocal. Dave sounds really good on this material. If you haven't heard some of these songs, you should probably check them out. Somewhere Over the Rainbow Bar and Grill is probably my favorite song of the bunch. Of course, Roth was writing his little comic series over on Twitter and releasing various pictures and so forth, and then kind of putting them together with this music as a way to promote, self-promote, and a very inexpensive way, by the way, to get the word out. My theory as to why maybe Roth didn't want to release the song about Van Halen is you've got Eddie passing away, and then it might look really opportunistic. Although I have to say, you know, the CBS interview he did right when, Eddie passed away, quite honestly, wasn't the greatest timing, especially since the interview was primarily about what he'd been doing and his work and how that was really his priority at that moment, which is fine. But again, I had some questions about the timing. Maybe that thing was a foregone conclusion and Roth just had to let it go. So in any event, if you're a fan of Roth and you want to hear a song about Van Halen, you might want to give Dave a buzz over on Twitter, at least, send him a message or something if you can do that, and maybe he'll respond. Who knows? He tends to talk only when Dave, feels it necessary and where he's going to get some sort of promotional benefit from it. Maybe the song won't get released, but John 5 out there kind of, making it clear that this is the best song of the bunch. Will it get any radio airplay here in the States? No, it won't. They'll have to resurrect Van Halen for that to happen, and I don't see that happening. Although imagine John 5 playing guitar for Van Halen, right? Why not? It's an impossible task, but he would be a great candidate, being as he's worked with Dave, and I'm sure he knows the material really, really well, but I don't expect that to happen anytime soon. So there you have it. David Lee Roth, unreleased music. Sounds like it's cool stuff. Will we hear it eventually? Probably, maybe. I don't know.